Welcome back, everybody, to Along the Edge. We're back with chapter 4. Funny story. My sleep schedule has messed up within the past 3 days. So, I am recording this at 1 a.m. We'll see how I feel about another chapter at the end of this episode, but for now, we're just going to get through chapter 4 and see how that goes first. Like and subscribe if you enjoy like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you have not done so yet, subscribe to see more from my channel. And let's get into the video. Let's get into it. Chapter 4, November. I forgot what happened kind of last chapter. She was transferred to the sensitive care last night. Oh yeah, I left out because I got a drink thrown on me. So unbelievable. I'm never gonna forgive Frank for that, by the way. Never. And she died this month. Oh. We must be talking about old lady I cursed, huh? The doctors did all they could, but they said her chances of survival was very slim. How did I get here? Well, yeah, we're already well into November. Yeah, I feel as though the cocktail party happened just yesterday. Oh. When your Vez unveiled the statue of the Phoenix, that looked exactly like the one I saw in my dreams. It was as though I was being struck by lightning. I felt like the ground shifted beneath my feet. I doubted. All these stories about witchcraft, everything I've learned about my family so far, could there be any truth to them? Fortunately, everyday life has helped me forget all about that. All those disturbing thoughts. I've been working twice as hard at school. With all the papers to grade before the end of the term, it hasn't been that difficult. Frank went back to the city 3 days ago, thank God. He has to supervise some of the works there. He told me that he'd be away until the end of the month at least. I was glad when he came and told me after the cocktail party. After Stan, I was afraid he'd be mad at me. But he had the decency not to bring it up. This long absence though, is he perhaps thinking of leaving the village for good? And then Stan tried to call me. Or rather, my voicemail has been completely deluged with his messages. I was so angry at him. I must admit I deleted them without even listening. Miss Delator? Are you alright? You look upset. What happened exactly? How did she get in the accident? Here's what her sister told me. Beatrice took the cliff road to pick up her son, Gene, after his soccer game. The car seems to have skied on a patch of ice. It's terrible when I think of her son. Yes, as his class teacher, I count on you to be watchful. Gene is going to need our support to get through this. Also, I'm sorry to talk about it under these circumstances, but I did want to see you anyway. I know you're only here for 6 months, and that you're probably doing the best you can, but how can I put it? Your methods leave something to be desired. I don't think you're really cut out for teaching. I don't think it's the problems that he's getting at. I don't know what to say. In that case, don't say anything, but do it something. In that case, don't say anything, but do something about it. I'm counting on you to rectify the situation. Very well. So you're telling me that my teaching sucked? And you waited what? Like 3-4 months to say that to me? Well, we've been over what I wanted to discuss. But may I ask you something? I woke up not too long ago. My sleep schedule is beyond cooked. I'm trying my hardest to fix it. Well, we've been over what I wanted to discuss. But may I ask you something a little more personal? Why not? I need to talk about it with someone. Of course, I'm listening. Stop me if I'm wrong, but how can I put this? There's talk in the village. I know you had some words with Mrs. Q at the cocktail party. Did you, by any chance... You gonna say I'm rich too, aren't you? I don't know quite how to put it. Well, let me just come out straight. Let me just come straight out with it. Did you, by chance, and reiterate the by chance, have any responsibility for Mrs. Q's accident? Absolutely not. That was not my fault. Don't tell me you're giving credit to the gossip. I'm a scientist, and I absolutely don't agree with these primitive beliefs. Let's be serious for a minute, shall we? What do you think? That I have a voodoo doll of Miss Q to stick with needles in my attic at full moon? I'm very sorry for what happened to the poor woman, but there's nothing mysterious about her accident. It's a physical phenomenon that happens every winter that changes liquid water into ice. A solid which has the unfortunate property of making cars skid. Now, if you don't mind, my day's not finished yet, so if you'll excuse me. I'm sorry if I've upset you, Miss Delatory. It wasn't my intention. Miss Chestnut. As if today hasn't already been emotional enough, when I get to the castle, I discover a sports car parked in the front of the house. Of course, I've already guessed the identity of its owner. Walk into the hall, I find Stan has let himself in and is sipping a glass of whiskey as he peruses the family portraits. I would have offered you a drink, but it looks like you've already taken the matter into your own hands. I poured myself a good measure of the spray and light up a cigarette. Of the spirit, not Sprite. It was open, so I let myself in. Yeah, you don't do that in other people's houses. And I'm not sorry since you've kept me on tenterhooks for some time. That's a new one. I'm already on my second refill. I thought school teachers finish work much earlier, don't they? I was held up. Daphne, we need to talk. It's been a long day, bro. I'm just trying to get to bed, bro. If not answering your repeated calls wasn't clear enough, then let me be blunt. I don't want to see you. Okay, I guess my intentions towards you are crystal clear, but I didn't come for, well, to be honest, I didn't only come for that. Let me have half an hour. After all that's happened, I had to warn you. You need to know about our families, the village, and everything else. I let out a sigh. Alright, say what you have to. Dan takes a deep breath and begins. Of course, there's my father, his projects in the old curve with the Delators, and his sick obsession with the tower. But when I heard about, Beatrice, that's when I realized the situation was urgent. When I watched you do what you did at the cocktail party, I remembered everything that I heard since I was a child. All those unbelievable stories of witchcraft. I've never really had any real proof that any of it was true. But when I heard she was dead, well, it's been haunting me all day. I had to tell you. I have to know, so I'm just gonna lay it on the line. Did you know what you was doing back there? I don't believe in magic. I told you this magic is not real. Poof. Don't tell me you give credit to all those stories about witches too. Don't you think it's disturbing? Beatrice died in a car accident. There's nothing magical about black ice, for God's sake. Daphne, it's been, what, 3 months since you arrived? I don't see how that will change the fundamental laws of physics. I was born here. I've been listening to these stories for 30 years. It's neither the first inexplicable accident nor the first strange coincidence I've encountered. Very well, let's say for the sake of argument that I did curse Mrs. Q. Do you realize that means I killed her? That's not what I'm saying. You didn't know what you was doing. Perhaps, but try to understand that this witchcraft stuff goes against everything I believe, and yet, if any of this is true, I'm responsible for the death of the mother of one of my students. I'm overwhelmed by emotion. I realize I've been holding back my tears since the director broke the news to me. All right, buddy. I did not need you to do this for me. I did not need you to do this for me. I burst into tears and Stan takes me in his arms. I let him. I can't believe we've become so close so fast, Stan and I. We haven't. We haven't. A few minutes later, I tremulously blink away the last tear. When he's sure most of the storm is behind us, Stan gently lets go of me and look at me straight in the eye while I'm holding my and look at me straight in the eye while holding me by the shoulder. He says, "Please forgive me. I've been terribly inconsiderate. Of course, you couldn't have known what would happen. I keep forgetting you're not from here. And besides, no one told you what's happening in the village. So please, I beg you, don't feel guilty. It's us, the Matas, and others around here who should feel guilty about not warning you. Something else to tell me? I'm afraid I do. My father made you an offer at the cocktail party, didn't he? Well, yeah, it's about the tower, right? He must have gained access to it if I understood correctly. Exactly. If he hasn't come to see you yet, it's because he's building his case for the town council. He's got Selena on it, and he's got her working day in and day out. Poor Selena. And he wants everything settled before he tells you his plans. What can he really do to me? The house is legally mine, and he can't throw me out just like that for no reason. Maybe, but I assure you, it's no joke. Whatever happens, you mustn't accept it. Why do you want me to refuse so much? I know Yves, like it or not, I've been dealing with him since I was born. He's a shark, and considering how much he's a shark, and considering how much he resents the Delators, I can assure you that whatever he proposes to you will serve his own interests, but most importantly, it will harm yours. He doesn't know what's inside the tower. What did my family do to generate so much hate? It goes very far back, our great-grandparents, or even further. I don't know for sure. It's said that the Delators has been a very influential family in the area. Your family has kept to the traditions despite the law in the name Delator of the tower goes from mother to daughter, and the eldest daughter has always been the spiritual guide of the community. A kind of Celtic grand priestess, if you see what I mean. Since, well, Christianity never really got very popular around here, as so few you've probably noticed. The story goes that your ancestor, the great priestess, had a dispute with my ancestor, and my family had no choice but to curse yours to save their honor. Since that time, the Montalis has accumulated wealth and prospered, while the Delators have declined. Fair enough, but all that happened a long time ago. Why keep such an old curl alive? Not only did I do nothing to harm your family, but it looks to me that the Montalis have already had the upper hand, don't they? That's where the tower comes in. As I understand it, these blessings have a price, and my father wants to get into it to lift the curse that takes its toll on my family too. And the tower's the key to lifting the curse? But I can't let Levez get inside because he may want to harm me? Exactly. It may sound stupid, but I have to ask, do you know where the entrance to the tower is? No. But everybody in the village knows that it was condemned after the events that tore both our families apart. So why didn't anyone tell me? Don't judge the villagers too harshly. They're naturally suspicious, especially when it comes to us. Should I brace myself for more revelations, or is that it? I guess I've told you most of it. The crux of the matter anyway, but you must have 1,000 questions. I don't care about what he has to say about himself. Tell me about your father's plans. Tell me more about your father's plans. As I've told you, he wants to get inside the tower, and I'm afraid he'll stop at nothing to do it. If I know him, he'll certainly try to win you over at first. He's currently building a case for the town council to open the tower to the public. In return, they will pay all the maintenance costs. It could be worth listening to his offer, don't you think? The cost to keep the castle afloat can't be sneezed at. And the money I got in the will isn't exhaustible. I don't know how else to say it, and I don't have any proof except my own experience and the trust you may put in my word. but I assure you, to accept anything from my father would be a very bad idea. During your grandmother's time, he was resigned to not get into. During your grandmother's time, he was resigned into not getting into the tower. But now that things have changed, he wants to take advantage of the opportunity. I'm sure he'll come up with a very attractive financial deal, and he's counting on your supposed naivete to get what he's after. Alright, let's say I refuse. What happens next? That depends. Depends on what? It depends on whether or not you believe in all this witchcraft stuff. It always comes back to that, doesn't it? Perhaps, but it is a very durable concept for most people who live here. And whatever you're feeling about it, Yves is still a very real threat. You're not the first person to oppose him. But you've got a few cards up your sleeve that might make you last. Your family, I'm curious. Can you tell me more about them? I think you've already grasped the nuts and bolts. First, there's my parents. Our relationships has been distant since I've been old enough to understand how they think. What do you mean? How can I sum up the Machado method? I would say manipulation and extortion under the cover of good breeding. And if that doesn't work, then they throw money in the general direction of the problem until it's kind enough to disappear. Charming, but I'm asking myself, why would they stay in the village? I mean, with so much wealth, they could live anywhere, couldn't they? You mean somewhere less remote? You're not wrong, but don't forget they're very attached to the area. With their beliefs, they're too much afraid of losing their advantages if they leave, I guess. But everything I tell you is only speculation. Yves has decided I wasn't fit to be the #1 heir long before I was old enough for him to tell me any of their little secrets. And you? Have you ever thought about leaving? Of course, I have. But Selena and her son are stuck here, and I couldn't bring myself to leave them alone in the belly of the beast. Sure, that makes sense. Besides, I strongly suspect my father is, to some degree, responsible for the death of Selene's husband. A good accidental crisis death, just the way he likes, whether it's supernatural or not. After all, seeing as his own son wasn't up to the task, he needed an heir to pass his fine values on to, right? But that's awful. Welcome to my world. Of course, I'm doing my best to protect Pierre from all this, but I'm afraid I'm fighting a losing battle. He adores his grandfather, of course, and with good reason. He can be a very charming guy when he wants to be. As for Selena, she's always been kept out of it. She's always been a perfect daughter, and my parents with their traditional values didn't have many ambitions for her. I think all they wanted for their daughter was a good marriage that would preferably help their family affairs. Then stops talking, his eyes far away, lost for words. Finally, he breaks the silence before it becomes awkward. Well, that's it. Now you know everything. I don't care about her. I really should, but I don't care. I think we've covered everything. There's still something I wanted to talk to you about. I can see in his eyes what kind of subject we're about to discuss. No, 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 no. On one hand, Frank's still in the picture, but on the other hand, what's the risk of seeing if the grass is greener on the other side? No, no, no. No, I think you've had enough to drink tonight, Stan. I appreciate you coming to tell me about all this beeswax of yours, but it's like this. Not like this, not like this. We like this. This how we are. Have fun, bro. Good night. I know what you're about to say. I thought it was clear. I'm sorry. But yep. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. There will be no romance in this playthrough. If you want romance, play it yourself. Days go by, and still nothing from Yves. I must admit, finding out about his plans has left me in a state of permanent apprehension. I try not to worry about it. I mean, really, what's the risk? These stories of curses and witchcraft are totally unbelievable. Yves can't make Yves can't make my car fall off a cliff by putting needles through some doll in my image. But that doesn't mean he's harmless, and I'm eager to find out what he's up to. Then there's the Brutinis. I haven't seen them in a while. Sometimes I think of Selena. I'm not sure I've got her figured out, but I felt there was something going on when I met her at the cocktail party. Perhaps I should call her. Maybe we could see each other again. What should I do? Let's see what Selena's talking about. When I call Selena, she's surprised to hear from me, but she welcomes the idea of having a coffee together. We met up in the afternoon in a small chair room with a terrace that looks out on the tree-filled square. Selena is waiting for me, cup in hand, watching our own son who plays with the other children in the playground next to the terrace. The reason for the choice of this tier room is suddenly clear, considering the strategic location it represents for the young mothers of the village. But since my miscarriage, I avoid these kind of places like the plague, as they tend to dredge up a stew of bad memories. I try to keep my face composed as I sit down with Selena. I guess I don't do a great job since she asked me, with a concerned face. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I'll powerhouse through it. Oh, okay. Can I get you a tea, or are you more of a coffee person? Double espresso, but don't bother yourself. I'll call the waitress. Chat for a while. The conversation is frequently interrupted by Pierre, who wants to show us a fascinating stone, to ask for a cookie, or to recount the incredible adventure that just happened to him on the playground's fort. It's Celine who finally cuts to the chase, saying, out of nowhere, we can get to the real reason we called, don't you think? I'm fairly sure Stan has told you about my father's plan, and you want to ferry out more information, don't you? Our conversation has suddenly become a minefield. I need to choose my next words very carefully. All right. Detective Junior on the case. I got y'all. I mean, why would I lie? She figured it out. It'll be worse to lie more, no? I didn't come for that, but since you're asking, I must admit that I'm curious to know more. Ah, I knew it. You delators really are all the same. Well. But no, I knew it was too good to be true. That you had a hidden, okay. Oh no! I was looking if I could try. So, I was looking if I could try and go back before I made the decision I did. I clicked the achievements. And I think I'm going down a bad route. Heart of Darkness. I've been really getting a lot of moons and stars. I can save this. I'm confident. I can save this. Selena, we will be friends. I didn't come for that, but since you're acting blah 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 blah. I messed up, I know, I'm sorry. She stands up and glaring down at me says, don't waste your time, you won't get anything out of me. She takes her son by the hand and leaves in the haste. As for me, I stay there, dazed and slightly rounded by what's happened. Even if I got no real proof, something tells me that Selena's disproportionate reaction is the result of your vast determination to undermine me. I pay the bill and go back to the castle. To anybody that says honesty is the best policy, that is the furthest thing from the truth. Alright, we're going to the Patinas. I really messed up there, huh? When I knock on the lodge door, Miss Martinez answers, "Oh, hello, miss. What brings you here?" It looks as though she's putting knitting aside to greet me. Next to the fire, in the armchair, I make out the silhouette of Mr. Martinez. He looks at me over his newspaper, the local news, and puffs on his pipe as I enter the room. He nods me a greeting. "I was just passing to see how you are. It's been a while since we last saw each other." "Yes, it has. Time flies." When my husband and I heard about Mrs. Q, we felt terrible for the poor woman. Smells like another martyr trick, if you're asking me. But it doesn't make sense. Why would the Martellis want to get rid of a housewife? Do you mean that you knew her, miss? Well, I wouldn't exactly say I knew her. She was the mother of one of my students, and she had, how should I put it? Let's say she had a few opinions about the Delators. I'm still so upset I messed that up with Selena. Mrs. Martinez turns white. But, excuse me for putting this so bluntly. But did you curse the woman? Before I had time to answer, she continues. Without wanting to, miss. How could you have known? Did you hear that, Gerard? We should have warned her. Mrs. Martinez lays his newspaper down on his knees and regards us with a piercing gaze. Come on, Gilbert. He was just saying a couple of days ago that those stories were nothing but stories. If I'd known. You must realize what you're saying isn't real, Mrs. Martinez. Curses. You can't make people... Curses. You can make people have car accidents just like that, with the power of the mind. Afraid you're wrong, miss. You know the village legends. So tell me about them. I get the feeling there's a lot more things I don't know. About the village, my family, the Maltese. I don't care about that woman. Tell me what you know about the so-called curses. I can't tell you much about this, miss. Why? The Delators were known to be miracle makers, but it's been a long time since anything like that has happened. It hasn't been in my lifetime, but in the old days, they used to say that your family had a gift. Can you tell me what happened? Can you tell me what happened with Mrs. Q? Maybe it'll jog my memory. Tell her what happened. It must have been the words he said without realizing, and the wow, that must have been what unleashed the spell. But no way. I refuse to believe that uttering some words, any words, could have the consequence of killing someone. Do you realize what you're suggesting? It's a shame your grandmother's no longer. It's a shame your grandmother's no longer with us. She would have explained everything to you. Yes, I guess I will. Yes, I guess I'd like to have the menu on what to say not to kill your neighbors. And yet, I still think that maybe it's a Martello trick. That would be pretty twisted, don't you think? Oh well, nothing would surprise me with those low lives. By the way, Gerard saw the Martello boy's car in the yard the other day, didn't you, Gerard? I hope he wasn't bothering you. Nah, I sent him home. He was trying to get some of this. He was trying to get some of this witch's brew. I didn't let him. Yes, he did drop in, but don't worry, he behaved himself. I'm glad to hear that. If he bothers you, just give us a call. Gerard has been looking for an excuse to put a cartridge in one of those rings for a good time. For a good long time. Thank you, but I don't think that'll be necessary. Tell me what you know about the tower and the local legends. What do you want to know precisely? Help me that this Venus was on He told me that this Phoenix was the Delator coat of arms. Why? Yes, that's right. You can see it on the family crest. I think it's linked to the story of your family. You can see the Sphinx symbol all over the village, and you are the descendant of the family whose job was to protect the tower and its contents. Come on now. Mrs. Bertine puts her coat on. I follow her to the tower. She points in the shield with the coat of arms of the family, carved into the outer wall. See? I can clearly make out a tower surrounded by two phoenixes. We return without speaking to the lodge. But this phoenix has nothing to do with Egypt. It looks more like the one from Greek mythology, doesn't it? Like the phoenix that protected Thebes. The one who asked Oedipus the riddles, I suppose. Oh, well, that I couldn't say. A few years ago, Gerard and I was watching a documentary about Egypt on the TV, and we said to ourselves, that looks like the statue in the village. Do you remember, Gerard? Mr. Pettina muttered something unintelligible without glancing up from his newspaper. What they say is religion is magical. It used to be a place of pilgrimage. In the old days, people came to be healed or to join the festivities for passing of the seasons. I couldn't tell you why, but the legends say that your ancestors. Used to perform miracles. My ancestors, the Delators? Yes, the Delators. But this was way before they built the tower. I don't know what they would call back then. Also, your family had a duty to protect the village. As the place was magical, it attracted demons, and there was rituals to be performed so that the source of power wasn't polluted by these evil spirits. When the Christians colonized the country, the region closed in on itself. The villagers built the tower over the source to keep it secret, and the village became a place of remembrance. I didn't know this period. It was long before I was born. It was my grandmother who had told me the stories before the Maltese arrived. What have the Maltese got to do with all this? It began with Yvette's grandfather, Auguste Maltaire. When he was a child, the Delators fostered him at the castle because he had a gift for miracles. He was an orphan from a family of marsh folk. To be fostered like that was very lucky for him. But apparently, it wasn't enough. He wanted more. I knew him a little. He was already an old man, but he was a difficult character. I remember he used to give me the creeps when I was a girl. Anyway, it's since then that the Maltese began to amass their fortune. That's when the accidents started to happen. If anyone went against the Maltese, something bad happened to them, every time. And then, the Delators began to wither away. In the end, there was only your grandmother left, and then you came. Why didn't you tell me all this before? You came from the city. You didn't know anything about all this. If we had told you about the spirits of the forest or magical sources, what would you have thought? And we thought it was just old stories. We wasn't born in the time of the miracles, and we don't know much anyway. My husband and I don't care about that woman. I have to go. Thanks for answering my questions. Well, now you know everything. Well, Gerard, we told her everything, didn't we? Mr. Petunia puffs on his pipe, thinking, then nods in agreement. My wife and I, we're just the wardens. We were never in the know. Your grandmother, she could have told you, warned you. But everything you told me is a pretty hard pill to swallow. The curses, the magic source, the evil spirits. Whether you want it or not, it's in your blood, miss. It's your inheritance. What should I do next? Alright. Days go by, then weeks, and Yves is conspicuous by his absence. I try to concentrate on my classes at school, but after all the revelations, my mind is often elsewhere. And to top it all off, the principal told me I was going to be inspected by the local education authority, which adds to the general climate of anxiety. I'm in the forest. It's the same dream again, the one I had last month. I have a sense of deja vu, but something has changed. I run to escape the presence that follows me. Once again, I reach the pool in the clearing. I draw closer to the glimpse of my reflection. It's a different image, as though something has changed. I'm getting a bad ending. I know I am. Oh, good God. At the very least, I'm fucking with this. You know the bad thing about this? If we go back to the achievement section, there was an achievement that said new hairstyle. But at the same time, it's more precise, almost more real. My hair is short and blonde. I'm wearing a very fashionable outfit. I'm fascinated by the strangeness of this image. The complete opposite of how I look now. I've never worn my hair short, but I'm surprised to find myself thinking it's quite attractive. I touch the reflection, and after a moment of darkness, I'm back in the garden. When I came to the statue of Daphene, her gaze is different. She looks ahead with defiance and determination. That's when everything changes. I'm driven by the strength and stability that seems to emanate from the statue. This time, I don't let myself fall into the darkness. This time, I find the courage to turn around and confront the threat of Daphene's stairs. Her gaze immovable. That's when I see the beast for the first time. What exactly am I looking at here? We watch each other for a second. That seems to last forever. Then the beast hurls itself at me. It's at that exact moment when its claws are poised to lacerate my belly that I shudder awake. Chapter 5. Okay, so I messed up big time this episode. I messed up with one thing in particular that seems huge. I messed up that talk with Selena. At the end of this episode, at the end of this series, I might do a quick replay, not re-uploading, a whole different story or anything. But hopefully I can still make Selena my friend is what I'm trying to get at. Because if I can't, I'm going down a bad path. What I'm going to do though, is I'm going to record 2 more chapters, 6 and 7. Oh, I know, you guys are kids. 6, 7, oh yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna record 6 and 7, get those uploaded tomorrow. Then we're on one grand finale for the last episode, everybody. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see the next videos, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, come back to see what happens next as we get closer to the finale of Along the Edge. You guys, love y'all and enjoy your day. Well, night. Whenever you're watching, it's just bye. Love y'all.